talk to you about the City of Fitchburg's 2018 revaluation. The assessment staff consists of Del Zwig, the city assessor, Dan Storm, our commercial appraiser, and Amy Mercer, the residential appraiser, and Erica Esser, our property appraiser one. Each year we revalue the city. We analyze sales and we adjust our cost model to the market trends that are occurring each calendar year. Different classes of property throughout the city. We have real property, which consists of 8 different classes. We have some exempt property, which is both real and personal property. And we also have personal property, which consists of the types of things that you would find in a business. The assessment process consists of discovery, list, and value. Discovery consists of permits, sales, fire reports, open book, owner requests for review, some queries, periodic reviews, and how does that affect you? We want to find the items that have changed on your property that would affect the value of your property. We then take that discovery and we list that data. We want to list, the attributes of your home so that those attributes then affect the cost of your home, and that's how we then apply a sales model to that cost to generate a value. Based on our last slide, this slide represents the properties that we visited this last year. As you can see, we've entered the majority of the properties that we request to visit. We've been able to enter. We still have some that property owners either refuse us entry or they just don't respond back, and then we have to estimate those properties. So we do want to try and get into all properties so that we can list that data accurately for you with the homeowner. Listing the property then moves into generating a value for that property. We use the tools within our system, and those tools, part of those tools are creating a cost module, and then we apply a market adjustment to that cost module to generate that final value for you. There are 3 approaches to value: the sales, cost, and income. The sales approach, there's case law that says we need to use the recent sale of the subject property. If there's no recent sale, then we go to reasonably comparable properties. And then if there's no reasonable comparable sales, then we apply the income or cost approach. Now we're going to move on to some internet tools that both the assessor's office uses and you as the property owner have access to. First is the Department of Revenue. As you can see here, we've got the website listed. The type of things you can find are guides for property owners. You can search the sales by the real estate transfer return, some frequently asked questions, and it lists the different departments within state and local finance. The next slide talks about Access Dane. There, some of the important aspects you can find are the air photos. You can find your assessments. You can find your tax bills located there. So that's a wonderful site for you to use as a resource. City of Fitchburg's website also has the important dates for open book, board of review. You can contact us through that site directly. It has frequently asked questions. It also has some quick links on there to take you to like assessorsdata.org, which is our next slide. This has the assessor's data where you can actually view your parcel. And you can see the data. You just got to work your way through and you eventually can see your data as to room count, square footage, etc. on this. Within Assessor Data, this is a screenshot of what you'll actually view when you get in as far as you need to go. That'll say your assessment and then your room counts and the condition. So please review your data on your property record card so we make sure that is accurate for you. This is a slide of some sales. The assessor's office reports all sales to the Department of Revenue, and equalization then reviews those sales and sets the equated rate and shows us what our ratio is each year. When we need to estimate a property, we try to utilize the best information available. The type of information we can use is we'll view the exterior of the property. We can review the assessor's file folder for past notes. We'll search the internet sites such as sale listings, street views, air photos. We'll also search building inspection records and talk with building inspection about how far along a permit is. We can review building plans and sketch it from the plans. And we'll also have discussions with maybe the property owner over the phone where they can verify the data. We might talk with the tenant of the property if the owner doesn't occupy it. And oftentimes neighbors might come in and tell us information about another, say for example, a condo unit that we weren't able to access, so we can find what that model type is. Now let's look at the state statutes. The following is a website that contains the statutes that relate to property assessment. Chapter 70, 73, and 74 are the primary chapters that assessors follow, and it also explains property owners' rights. As part of those state statutes, it includes the appeal process. The first step in that appeal process is open book. That's the informal appeal process. That's where you meet with the assessor. You can contact us by phone, internet, email. The next step would be the board of review. If you're unhappy with what occurs at open book, then you want to contact the city clerk and file a formal appeal to go to board of review. If you're unhappy with what occurs at board of review, then there are a couple more appeal processes that follow that. In order to do those following appeal processes, you do need to attend the board of review. The additional appeal processes after the board of review would be to appeal to the circuit court. You can also appeal to the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, the Equalization Bureau. All of those appeal processes are listed within those state statutes. On your change of assessment notice, it lists the important dates, the open book dates and the board of review dates. It also lists the phone numbers and contact information of both the assessor and the city clerk. So any additional questions you have, you may contact the assessor or the city clerk. So what are your next steps? Please review your assessment notice. Ask yourself these questions. Does the assessment seem fair and equitable? If recently purchased, is the new assessment close to your purchase price? Would you sell your property for the assessed value? Have you had a recent appraisal? If so, is it close to the assessed value? Then go to assessordata.org and review your property record card. Go over that data, make sure it's accurate. If you have questions or to discuss your assessment, contact your assessment staff. Ways you can contact us are by phone, in person, or email. Many of you have questions concerning your tax bills. The assessor's office sets the assessed value. We do not create the tax bills. Although we understand that part of the formula in your tax bill is the assessment, the assessor's office does not create the budget. Coming soon, there will be additional information and resources that will discuss your tax bills. Thank you. The assessment staff strives to assure that all properties in the city are valued fairly and equitably as required by law. We truly appreciate your participation in this process. Please contact us with any questions or concerns. Thank you.